kind of deal like that, or can you make my relatives live longer and healthier?
I haven't heard of such deal. At that point, Star Nations would not have been doing individualistic efforts like that. They tend to operate race-wise, with the whole human race's advancement. I know Colonel Donald Blair told me that the reason Lawrence Rockefeller he was in on these meetings and spent a lot of money trying to learn everything he could about the Star Nations, was that he hoped he would get the secret to longevity. Well, he lived to a pretty old age, but he eventually died recently, and the irony is that now that the agreement that he and his brother and some of the others put together has been ruled invalid, and that kind of cabal nonsense has been swept out of the way, there's room for a new agreement, and one of the task forces is going to be to move ahead with medical technology, which I imagine will involve extending human lifespan in a healthy way. I don't know that anybody has gotten a special deal out of this on an individual basis. I think what's happening to some of the individuals you've mentioned is karma coming home to roost, but no special deals that I've been informed of.
I see. Have you heard of any kind of specific health-related issues or any kind of health-related help that's actually been passed down that we know of, that may be disguised as a medical advancement or something like that, that might have come, say, why did polio disappear? Why have certain diseases disappeared? Could this possibly have something to do with these alien races, or did they just kind of die out on their own?
Well, I know that the star races have, on their own, volunteered huge amounts of information in areas that the cabal have not been able to turn to weapons, things like advances in medicine and communications and electronics and certainly astronomy, cellular biology, and so forth. And I, without being able to point to any specific advance that human scientists have announced, it's pretty clear that this seeding of information and this filtering up from the government scientists to spread out into the broader human community has happened, and we've had breathtaking advances in science and technology, just to mention two areas, over the last 50 years, more than we have in the last 500, perhaps the last 5,000. And we will see more of this.
Of all these species, Richard, the Zetas seem to be the most benevolent. Is that a pretty good assumption?
Well, I wouldn't say the most benevolent. All the star nations are well-intentioned. The Zetas are the most frequently encountered because they're here doing the most work, and with the genetic upgrading and a lot of the communications work, frankly, they're some of the heroes of the star nations. They're coming in under a heavy fire situation and taking great risks to make all these contacts, and they're the one people see the most often. They're certainly loving and well-intentioned beings. So are the reptoids, so are the praying mantis, so are the humanoids and others out there. So I can't say that I would pick favorites in that. They're all here on a kind of what shall we say, a Peace Corps kind of mission to Earth, and take pride and a sense of spiritual advancement and honorable duty in doing so.
Do they believe in God? Did they ever say that?
Oh, yes, absolutely. They put it more in terms of source, supreme source, if you will. But that's a way of conceptualizing God, but very much so, and that's the basis of the what these 11 universal laws and 11 spiritual laws are grounded in is part of the truth that soars in its unfolding in all of creation. That's the way things are organized, principles of free will and freedom of man, and laws of movement and balance, of choice and light and karma, and all of these are just attributes of the consciousness of God, if you will, manifesting in the universe in which we find ourselves.
East of the Rockies. Hello to you.
Hi, George. How you doing tonight?
Good, sir. Thank you.
Dr. Boylan, how are you?
Good evening.
I've got a few questions for you here. You stated several times of these people being here on a mission and having an agenda. Other than their helping us with our medical fields or our earth care, what is their true mission? If they've got 59% of our population as extraterrestrial beings, sounds to me like they're trying to take over.
Well, I already indicated what the true mission is. The 59% are not extraterrestrial beings. They are humans. All of us will go through many reincarnations over our course as a consciousness personality, from time to time, life to life, and in many cases from planet to planet. And but when a person's in a given incarnation, they are that species of that planet, and when a person incarnates on Earth, they are a human, regardless of their previous history of incarnations elsewhere or not. And the same with the star kids, starseeds. They have some few proportionately extraterrestrial genetics to upgrade consciousness and abilities, but the basic genome is human. It has not been transmogrified into something else. I also think we need to put this whole question into a much larger and accurate perspective in terms of the origin of the human race. Every single person on Earth is a hybrid 2 times over before the modern era of Star Nations contact. By that I mean the entire human race was bioengineered from primate stock around 325,000 years ago. Homo sapiens emerging with no immediate precursor, one of the mysteries of anthropology, until you recognize the Star Nation intervention. And then after giving that about 125,000 years of seeing how it worked out, humans were still too aggressive and territorial, and so they did a genetic upgrade of Homo sapiens, modern human. And now in the last several decades they decided a bit more upgrading is needed so that we don't blow ourselves up, and now we have Homo ulterius spatialis, or starseed, but still human.
Okay, Joe, you there?
Yes.
Okay, any more follow-up?
Well, it just puzzles me that if they don't have a mission or an agenda to take over, then why don't they go to a large, like a CNN or some kind of conglomerate that controls the airways and just present themselves to the world, and instead of just to one human that they know is going to get ridiculed and questioned and drug over the coals? Why don't they show themselves?
Well, they're not here to do a cultural meltdown on people's consciousness. There's been a gradual preparation of people for this. I'm not the only person who's been